In the last video, I unboxed the Magicycle Deer. Now we've got it outside to take it for some test rides. Blake has actually already been riding it around.
Right now I'm like cruising up this little hill here. Pedal assist 3, 11.8 miles an hour. Here's some tree cleanup from all the storms or whatnot. So not even an hour from here, like I would say a half an hour from our location, Grass Valley, up towards Tahoe, there is at least 40 feet of snow. Yeah, this full suspension is what it says, full suspension. The rear seemed to work a little bit better than the front. 24, 26, 27, 27, 5, 6. I think the main key on this is, obviously it's the step through with suspension. That's the beauty of this bike. So if you're looking for a little bit of both of that, and I think pretty good fit. Yeah, 7 for just cruising around is a little much.
And now it's my turn. But before I do that, let's go over some of the specs of this bike. This is a full suspension step through. There is a shock hidden inside the frame right here. It's tucked in quite nicely back there. This is a hub motor bike. That is a 750 watt motor with a peak power of well over 1,000 watts. We have a cadence sensor mounted right here in the middle. And in the frame right here, we have a pretty big 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery. So you've got over 1,000 watt hours of power. You've got over 1,000 watts potentially of power. And to stop all of this, you have hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. Now this bike is currently on sale for $24.99. So it is a reasonably affordable full suspension fat tire bike, which means we don't get the best top of the line brakes, but we do get these Bengal Aries 3. As I said, they are hydraulic. Just know that this bike is built certainly to a certain price point. To go along with that, we have a front suspension fork. It's fairly basic. You have a preload adjustment on the left. You have a lockout switch on the right. One of the features they really like to show off is how big and long this rear rack is. And you could put a lot of stuff back there. It's rated for 25 kilograms, that's just over 50 pounds, so no, that is not another person or not designed for people back there, but certainly you could put some saddlebags on there, haul a bunch of groceries, whatever you want to do. And we have a tail light that is wired in. That is also a functioning brake light. Small bell. This is using a Shimano 7-speed shifter. We've got the Shimano Altus derailleur in the back. This is pretty interesting. It looks like they've added a torque arm to the frame. I like to see that on hub motors. It means that the frame is not going to break a year or two down the road from wear and tear, because that axle really does put a lot of stress on these frames. Nice big chain ring up front. I'm guessing I can pedal this thing at a pretty high speed. I do like what they've done here. The fender really integrates well into the rear triangle of the suspension design. I mentioned it in the unboxing of the bike. I do feel like this is an entirely new frame that I've never seen before, unique to Magicycle, and my first impressions of it, not having ridden it, are that it looks pretty good. It was set up for 20 miles an hour out of the box. I've already turned that up to 28. No password or anything required. There is one thing about this bike that I would say is a downside, which is the weight. This does come in at a whopping 92 pounds according to their website. I'm gonna take their word for it. It does feel fairly hefty moving it around the shop. That is thanks to the fat tires, the rims that are being used, the frame that they say it has a load capacity of 400 pounds, full suspension, that big 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery. I mean, when you put all those pieces together, it is hard to keep things lightweight. I think this could have been done for maybe somewhere around the 75 to 80 pound mark with all of those specs, but 92 pounds is what it is. Let's take a close look at the display. If I can get this off of here. There we go. So we've got the battery percentage right here. I think in the advanced settings, you can change that to voltage. We have the time in the upper right corner, wattage right here, miles per hour showing here. You have kind of an analog style gauge there. I'm gonna twist the throttle. This is a half twist on the right side. And then you have kind of the digital gauge right in the middle. And then of course on the bottom, you've got your trip meter and the pedal assist settings, which are slightly different on this bike than what I normally see. There are a total of 7 assist levels. Pressing the middle button gives us odometer, max speed, average speed, riding time, trip speed, all the usual stuff. If we hold the up button, that turns on the headlight, which looks decently bright. I showed that in the unboxing video with some of the lights dimmed down, and even though the headlight's round, it kind of cast a horizontal beam and looked pretty good. It actually looked like something that would be usable. So the sun is out, it's a nice day. I got a bright yellow bike. Let's find out, does it stop well? And the most important question to me is, how does that full suspension handle? I feel like you have to be somewhat skeptical of a 92-pound full suspension bike that only costs $2,500. How well is it really gonna handle off-road, in bumps, on trails? But that's what we're gonna do right now, which means I should probably get a helmet. I don't have a yellow helmet, but I got a black, and that will match good enough. Step through is nice and low, so easy to get on. Whoa, I had it cranked up all the way to 7. Let's try 1 first. All right, so bear in mind that I'm not very strong, but I definitely feel the weight in pedal assist 1. I'm in first gear, doing about 4 miles an hour up this hill. So because it has a couple more assist levels than normal, 1 is gonna be a little weaker, which I mean is good if you like to pedal a lot. That means you could conserve your battery power a bit more. That just means level 1 is gonna be a little harder, more of a workout, and a little too much for me. Let's go to 2. There we go. Pedal assist 2, I feel like the weight is now gone. Now it feels like an e-bike. Let's give it some throttle. Oh yeah, picks right up. Let's test out the brakes. Not bad. I feel like if I squeezed hard enough, I could lock the brakes up. You do have to give them a bit of a squeeze though. The other thing I want to feel is the pedaling cadence. It feels, to me, a little bit high, like I would like to pedal a little bit faster and not quite as hard, but I feel like most people actually want to pedal a little slower and a little harder, so this might be okay. I'm up to assist 3, I'm going uphill, doing 11 miles an hour. And I'm feeling a little bit of a bob in the rear suspension. Ideally, you don't want the back of the bike bouncing up and down when you're pedaling hard. This bike is doing that a little bit. I didn't really expect anything magical out of the suspension design. It's fairly basic, but it is working. It's definitely soaking up the bumps. For a split second, I felt like I was riding on a comfy seat or perhaps a suspension seat post. There's a couple of speed bumps coming up here. What I want to do is hit these, and I'm just going to stay on the saddle and see how it feels. Pretty good. So I think if you're just going to buy this for comfort, it's nice. When I just hit the throttle like that, just give it a quick twist, it jumps right up to 900 watts. Let's test out the top speed. 28. This is a slight downhill. 29. Now the motor is off, so past 28 miles an hour, you're not getting any help from the motor. And now we're back to flat ground, so let's see if I can maintain 28 just by pedaling in pedal assist 7. I'm doing like 26 and a half. Not bad. I know there's some bumps on the side of the road right here. Let's see what they feel like. A little bit of chain slap, chain just flopping around from those bumps, but it felt comfortable. I mean, I hit those pretty fast, over 20 miles an hour. In that really rough stuff on the side of the road, that front fork didn't feel great, to be honest. I feel like a really good suspension, it would just soak up all the bumps. And it was soaking them up, but not just to where you were gliding across everything. It felt a little bouncy, I would say, which is kind of what I expected. Oh, and our trail is already covered by a tree. I guess that is a downside to the heavy bike is I can't lift it over that tree right there. Perhaps when I get in better shape and have recovered further, or if you were stronger, but would I say 90 some pounds? Not happening, not today. I'm gonna go around and see if I can pick up the trail a little bit lower. Hello. Oh look, it's Pete.
Stereo music.
That's good. I'm just filming.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to interrupt your filming.
That's okay. You can just say hi if you want to be on camera.
All right. It's a magic bike. It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, the Magicycle.
Magicycle. How you been feeling? Good?
I'm getting better, slowly but surely.
Got over 10,000 miles on this motor.
That's good.
10,000
On the bike or the motor?
on the motor. 10,200.
Oh, that's good. Because
Yeah.
I know you worn a lot of stuff out.
Right. No, I re-greased it at 10,000 miles.
That's a lot of miles on it.
That's what I say, you know. I worked my way up with a handsaw until I got to all these big trees.
And then you're like, that's it.
I got to come back with a chainsaw, and when I came back with a chainsaw, somebody had done it.
Oh, well, that was good.
But wait, check it out on the way down. You'll be amazed.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to see you.
You too.
Glad you're out and about.
Yeah.
When are you moving down to the store and by Safeway?
It's probably gonna be summer.
It's good advertising what you got in the window because people comment to me, oh, there's a bike shop there.
Oh, have they?
I tell them, oh, not yet, but it's going to be. He's up at the airport. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Well, in case you didn't hear, that was Pete, one of our local customers, and he has 10,000 miles on that motor. Not that bike, he actually has even more miles than that on the bike because he's worn motors out, but he's got over 10,000 on that Bafang Ultra. I think that's enough trail riding for me because I gotta make it back up the hill. But I gotta say, going down the hill on a single track trail, it handled better than I expected. I thought that was gonna be a little rougher, a little bouncier, but the suspension kind of settled in nicely and it worked. It's definitely no rock shocks, it's not air adjustable, it's not as plush as what I'm used to on some of our other mountain bike models, but it gets the job done. So if you don't mind the weight of the bike and you're not a real serious mountain biker, I think you would be perfectly happy with this. And it's got the power to get up the hill. I'm only in assist level 3. I'm pulling 500-600 watts up this hill. 700 now, it's getting a little steeper. 800. Realistically, pedal assist 4 out of 7 is faster than I really feel comfortable with right now on a trail. So I don't know if the display just caps out at 900 watts and is really pulling more power than that. But the display goes up to 900 and then it just stops. They say the motor is rated for 1100 watts. I don't really know if we're getting there or not, but I'm going uphill at 17 miles an hour, really not pedaling that hard. So I think their power rating is accurate. It feels like it's got what they advertise. Now this is a fairly large bike. They don't make this model in other sizes. Basically it's a large frame. That's what I'm comfortable on. I'm about 5'10", and it's a good fit for me. I don't like bikes that are particularly long, and they use a nice short stem on this. The bars have a decent rise to them. It feels comfortable right where it's at. I was thinking it'd be nice if it had an adjustable stem. You may want one. I don't think it's needed for me. Actually, the ride feels very comfortable as is. So I've ridden a lot of different e-bikes. I really like them, and it's hard when they're decent to not like them. Magicycle has been bugging me about being a dealer, and who knows, this test ride might be pushing me over the edge. Might not. I really need to hear from you, my customers. Would you like to walk into Area 13 and see bikes like the Magicycle Deer on the showroom floor as something that you can come in, look at, sit on, test ride, and even take home? And if that's something you want, leave me a comment below, let me know, because I want to know what you guys want. Looks like I got a little leaf there, picked up some dirt and dust. There it is, I like the color. In case you guys missed the unboxing video and how to set one of these up, you can see that video right here.